Section 4. You will hear a lecture by a healthcare researcher to students of health science about the results of a survey on yoga in Australia. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good afternoon, everyone. In today's lecture, I'm going to present some of the findings of the largest and most comprehensive survey of yoga practice ever conducted in Australia. The objectives of this survey were to investigate the characteristics of people who practice yoga in this country, the styles and techniques of yoga that are practiced, how often people practice yoga, the reasons why they do yoga, and the perceived benefits of yoga practice. It is our hope that the findings of this survey will be of help to both teachers and students of yoga in this country and abroad, as well as to healthcare practitioners. Prior to our study, no nationwide research had been conducted into the topic. Our research team decided to do a web-based survey so that we would reach the maximum possible number of people all around the country, and also due to our funding limitations. The survey was promoted through yoga schools, the media, and by word of mouth. Eventually, almost 4,000 people responded to the survey, which took about 30 minutes to complete. About 1/3 of the people who filled in the survey were yoga teachers. The other 2/3 were yoga students. Overall, 85% of the respondents were women. Yoga means different things to different people, and reflecting its diversity, there are many types of yoga. Our survey found that it is males and younger people who are more attracted to some of the physically more demanding styles of yoga that have gained in popularity in the West over the past 2 decades, whereas older age groups went for more relaxing styles. Apart from providing exercise, yoga can also be a form of therapy, meditation, or a spiritual path. Government agencies have found that around 2% of the adult population practice yoga to a greater or lesser extent, with a much lower participation rate for people who have not yet turned 18. Both their research and our survey found that the age group with the highest participation rate in yoga classes is the 35 to 44-year-old group. There has been a slight decline recently in the popularity of yoga. However, this was in the context of a reduction in physical activities overall among the Australian population. A major reason for this trend is not the rise in the popularity of junk food, but because more and more people are playing computer games. 56% of the yoga students who responded to our survey attend class once or twice a week. In contrast, and not surprisingly, the same percentage of the yoga teachers in our survey said they taught or practiced yoga between 5 and 7 times per week. Most people initially take up yoga to improve their health and fitness, with an emphasis on flexibility and strength, but also in order to reduce stress or as a treatment for a physical problem, particularly for a bad back. Many of the respondents to our survey stated that their reasons for doing yoga changed after they started doing regular practice, with more than half claiming that they keep at it for their personal development, which could be interpreted in a variety of ways. Although overall yoga promotes physical and mental health, it can cause damage if not done properly. And care needs to be taken with inverted postures such as the headstand and shoulder stand, as well as with the lotus position, which is the cross-legged position that is commonly associated with yoga and meditation. A common admission in the survey among those who had sustained injuries was that they had pushed themselves too hard. Far less frequently, teachers were said to have caused injuries by pushing students too hard. A large number of our survey respondents reported that they work in healthcare occupations, and for most of the yoga teachers, teaching yoga is not their only source of income. Among the students, the most common healthcare occupation is nursing, whereas among teachers, the largest group worked as massage therapists. Many also worked as nurses, psychologists, and practitioners of alternative medicine. In the survey, we also looked at incomes. We didn't ask for individual incomes, but household incomes. That is, the total income of all the people that survey respondents lived with. We found that around 3/4 of the students and 60% of the teachers have a household income above $50,000 per year, whereas just 9% of the students are on an annual household income below $30,000. 1 in 5 of the teachers belong to this group. It would seem that being a yoga teacher is not a path to riches. Yoga itself isn't that expensive, with the average person spending just under $100 a month on yoga practice and accessories. Overall, yoga was found to have a positive impact on people's lives, with a clear majority concluding that their physical, mental and emotional health, as well as their relationships, were better or much better than before they started doing yoga.
That is the end of Section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.